Hi everybody, I'm Gabby Wallace and this is a Go Natural English lesson. This video is a sneak preview of my full video course online that's available for instant viewing as soon as you sign up on my website, gonaturalenglish.com. The class is called 17 Secrets to Improving Your Listening Skills in English. And yes, there are really 17 secrets plus 5 practice videos. There is also a bonus video, so you have a few hours of course materials that will improve your listening skills, and you can ask me questions there as well. But in this video, I want to share 5 of the strategies or secrets for improving your listening skills. So let's get right to it. Number 1, your mindset. The way that you think, whether it's positive or negative, makes a huge difference in your abilities to take action or to understand what you're hearing. So if you go into a situation with a negative mindset, trust me, you won't do as well and you won't feel as confident. If you go into a situation with a positive mindset, yes, I can do it. I am able to understand what I hear in English. I do have the skills and I have the motivation to improve my skills. I see myself improving every day. These are the kinds of phrases, these are the kinds of ideas that I want for you to have in your mind as you approach situations in English where you want to understand what you hear. So my first tip is to start with a positive mindset. I believe you can do it. You can understand what you hear in English, and I'm here to help you so that you can even improve even more and build your confidence so that you can interact with success in any English-speaking conversation. All right, that's why we're here. Let's take a look at the second strategy. Listen, read, speak. When you listen, it's very helpful if you can use other activities to develop your listening skill. I would compare this to cross-training for a sport. Let's say you want to be really good at soccer, right? In the rest of the world, football. But in the US, we call it soccer. So you might play a lot of soccer to get good at soccer. Of course, that's obvious, right? But some people will encourage you to cross-train. Maybe try a different sport that would increase your endurance or your breathing, your lung capacity. Maybe you'd want to try swimming. It's a totally different sport, but it should help your overall physical capabilities. So I recommend finding materials where you can listen and read them. So this video is a material that you can listen to and you can read the subtitles, right? So you could start by listening only, don't read the subtitles, and then the second time that you watch the video, you can listen and read, so pay attention to the subtitles. Other materials you could use include my podcast project, All Ears English. You could use the Voice of America news. They often have listening and reading that you can do together. All right. The third is speak. So what I want you to try with this video or with my podcast is to first listen, then listen and read, then try a speaking technique that's called shadowing. I have another video that describes how to shadow, but I'll quickly describe it here. What you do is you listen, and as soon as you can possibly repeat what you hear, I want you to say it. Okay? So you're going to be mimicking what you hear as fast as you can right after you hear it. All right? So in these 3 ways, you're going to develop your listening skills, because reading will help you identify the connection between what you hear and what you read, okay? And speaking, well, if you can say a sound, you'll be able to hear it better, I hope that makes sense. But trust me that this kind of cross-training will really help your listening skills. Next, diversity. I encourage you to listen to a diverse set of materials. Try some listening materials that are short, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. And then, as you advance, try materials that are longer, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, a full movie of an hour or two. So a diversity of length of materials, and shorter length materials are better for repeating over and over. If you have a 3-minute video, you could repeat that 5 times and you've still only studied for 15 minutes. So it's very easy to do. Another point about diversity is I encourage you to begin listening to materials that are interesting to you, that fit within your interests. So if you're interested in soccer, listen to material about soccer, or listen to an actual soccer game with English sportscasters or announcers. But I want you to push yourself to go outside of your interests and listen to a diverse range of materials. Okay, if you are an artist, I want you to find science materials to listen to. You could listen to the NPR radio, that's the National Public Radio, or the BBC radio, the British Broadcasting, channel, I think. There you're going to find topics on science, technology, business, health, all different kinds of topics that you can explore to listen to a diverse range of materials. Why should you do this? Because of vocabulary. I want you to be familiar with a wide range of vocabulary. So again, begin with topics that motivate you, that you're really interested in. But when you're ready for a challenge, try materials that you wouldn't naturally be drawn to. Maybe something in a different field or a different topic than you would usually choose. And that will keep things fresh. That will challenge you. Okay? Next, guess first. Why would you guess first? We want to be sure. We want to have concrete, 100% confidence in what we're hearing, right? Well, actually, no. I want you to guess what you think you're going to hear based on the situation or the materials that you expect. So let's say you are listening to one of my video lessons. I want you to look at the title first and take 3 seconds to guess what you are going to hear in that video. This activates your brain and you start thinking about vocabulary that you can expect. And that way that vocabulary is fresh in your mind and your brain doesn't have to work so hard to dig it up. So before you enter a conversation at a specific event or a specific place with a certain person, I want you to guess, what do you think that person might want to talk about? That will help you to be prepared mentally for that conversation or for the material, like my videos. Last point, understand the big ideas. What I mean by this is I want to help you to understand what's special about the structure of English and the way that we speak. What are the patterns? If we can start to identify the patterns of English, then when you want to understand a specific conversation, a specific phrase or a specific word, you're going to be able to place that within the framework or the structure of English. And you'll be able to organize these new learnings much more easily. You'll have a place to put all the new ideas, the new vocabulary, and the new phrases. So the first thing that I want you to think about is the big picture or the framework of English. And in my course, I describe this in more detail. But what I mean is we have to get used to things like the rhythm of English, how we chunk phrases together. And sometimes it has nothing to do with punctuation, like periods or commas, although sometimes it does. We have to get used to the stress that we put on certain parts of a phrase, the stress that we put on certain syllables in a word. We have to get used to how in English we have key content words and we have weaker function words. I'll explain all this in my full course. We have to get used to also the sounds that we're going to hear within the words that maybe you don't have in your native language, like the TH sound or the R or the L or maybe the P or the B sound. I know in other languages these may not exist. So this is what I call getting used to the big picture or understanding the big picture so that you have a framework to understand how English is special. And when you learn new ideas or new words, you can organize all of these things in your brain. And when we organize, it helps us to remember. All right? So these are 5 secrets for listening success. I would love it if you would come join me for my full course, the 17 secrets to improving your listening skills in English, which you can find on my website at gonaturalenglish.com under courses. I can't wait to see you there, so come join now.